Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. We welcome you to this auspicious initiation ceremony. When Srila Prabhupada would give initiation, he would speak about the 10 offenses, because the devotees are being initiated into the chanting of the holy names. And to get the full benefit of the chanting, they must avoid the 10 offenses. And Srila Prabhupada discusses the 10 offenses in many places, and I will read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, the first step in God realization. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Etan nirvidyamananam ichatam akutobhayam yoginam ripanirnitam harinamanukirtanam. Translation. O King, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the previous verse, the great necessity for attaining attachment to Mukunda has been accredited. There are different types of persons who desire to attain success in different varieties of pursuits. Generally, the persons are materialists who desire to enjoy the fullest extent of material gratification. Next to them are the transcendentalists, who have attained perfect knowledge about the nature of material enjoyment and thus are aloof from such an illusory way of life. More or less, they are satisfied in themselves by self-realization. Above them are the devotees of the Lord, who neither aspire to enjoy the material world nor desire to get out of it. They are after the satisfaction of the Lord, Sri Krishna. In other words, the devotees of the Lord do not want anything on their personal account. If the Lord desires, the devotee can accept all sorts of material facilities. And if the Lord does not desire this, the devotees can leave aside all sorts of facilities, even up to the limit of salvation. Nor are they self-satisfied, because they want the satisfaction of the Lord only. In this verse, Sri Shukadev Goswami recommends the transcendental chanting of the holy name of the Lord. By offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name of the Lord, one becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord, then with the attributes of the Lord, and then with the transcendental nature of his pastimes, etc. Here it is mentioned that one should constantly chant the holy name of the Lord after hearing it from authorities. That means that hearing from the authorities is the first essential. Srila Jiva Goswami instructs the chanting of the holy name of the Lord should be done loudly, and it should be performed offenselessly as well, as recommended in the Padma Purana. One can deliver himself from the effects of all sins by surrendering himself unto the Lord. One can deliver himself from all offenses at the feet of the Lord by taking shelter of his holy name. But one cannot protect himself if one commits an offense at the feet of the holy name of the Lord. Such offenses are mentioned in the Padma Purana as being 10 in number. The first offense is to vilify the great devotees who have preached about the glories of the Lord. So this is called sadhu ninda, to criticize or blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated themselves for the propagation of the holy name. And in his book, Sri Harinam Chintamani, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur discusses the 10 offenses in detail, and he explains that there are 26 qualities of a devotee, but out of the 26, one is essential, which is Krishnaika Sharanam, to have taken a complete exclusive shelter of Krishna. So if someone has that one qualification, Krishnaika Sharanam, even if he doesn't have the other 25, he's considered a sadhu. And if one lacks the one qualification of Krishnaika Sharana, even if he has the other 25 qualities, they are of no particular value. So we should be very respectful of devotees. The second offense is to see the holy names of the Lord in terms of worldly distinction. The Lord is the proprietor of all the universes, and therefore he may be known in different places by different names. But that does not in any way qualify or limit the fullness of the Lord. Any nomenclature which is meant for the Supreme Lord is as holy as the others, because they are all meant for the Lord. Such holy names are as powerful as the Lord, and there's no bar for anyone in any part of the creation to chant and glorify the Lord by the particular name of the Lord as it is locally understood. They are all auspicious, and one should not distinguish such names of the Lord as material commodities. Once Srila Prabhupada was visiting Tehran, Iran, and his disciple, who was Iranian, Atreya Rishi Das, began to wax eloquent about the day when all the Muslims would chant Hare Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada commented, well, why do you want them to chant only Hare Krishna? They can also chant Allah, Allah. We are not sectarian. The third offense is to neglect the orders of the authorized acharyas or spiritual master. Yes, this gurur avagya, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master, is the third offense. And one should definitely avoid that. The fourth offense is to vilify scriptures or Vedic knowledge. The fifth offense is to define the holy name of the Lord in terms of one's mundane calculation. The holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord himself, and one should understand the holy name of the Lord to be non-different from him. The sixth offense is to interpret the holy name. The Lord is not imaginary, nor is his holy name. There are persons with a poor fund of knowledge who think the Lord to be an imagination of the worshipper, and therefore think his holy name to be imaginary. such a chanter of the holy name of the Lord cannot achieve the desired success in the matter of chanting the holy name. The seventh offense is to commit sins intentionally on the strength of the holy name. In the scriptures it is said that one can be liberated from the effects of all sinful actions simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. One who takes advantage of this transcendental method and continues to commit sins on the expectation of neutralizing the effects of the sins by chanting the holy name of the Lord is the greatest offender at the feet of the holy name. Such an offender cannot purify himself by any recommended method of purification. In other words, one may be a sinful person before chanting the holy name of the Lord, but after taking shelter of the holy name of the Lord and becoming immune, one should strictly restrain oneself from committing sinful acts with the hope that his method of chanting the holy name will give him protection. The eighth offense is to consider the holy name of the Lord and his chanting method to be equal to some material auspicious activities. There are various kinds of good works for material benefits, but the holy name and his chanting are not mere auspicious holy services. Undoubtedly, the holy name is holy service, but he should never be utilized for such purposes. Since the holy name and the Lord are of one and the same identity, one should not try to bring the holy name into the service of mankind. The idea is that the Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer. He is no one's servant or order supplier. Similarly, since the holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord, one should not try to utilize the holy name for one's personal service. In 1973, there was a conference at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan in Bombay, the theme of which was that the Bhagavad Gita can solve all problems. And before the session began, Srimati Leelavati Munshi, who was the head of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, invited the guests to her library to speak before the session. And I was there with Srila Prabhupada and other devotees. And there was one sadhu, I don't know his name, but he had, long gray hair and a gray beard. And he told Srila Prabhupada that he was holding large gatherings of people and having them chant the holy name and telling them that by chanting the holy name they could be cured of their physical ailments. So he said to Srila Prabhupada that you are gathering people together and I'm gathering people together. I'm getting them to chant the holy name and you're getting them to chant the holy name. We should cooperate. And Srila Prabhupada said, no. What you are doing is against our principles. And he made the exact same point, that the holy name is Krishna himself, and we're not meant to use the holy name to facilitate our material lives, but rather we are meant to serve the holy name. The ninth offense is to instruct those who are not interested in chanting the holy name of the Lord about the transcendental nature of the holy name. If such instruction is imparted to an unwilling audience, the act is considered to be an offense at the feet of the holy name. To preach the glories of the holy name to the faithless. The 10th offense is to become uninterested in the holy name of the Lord, even after hearing of the transcendental nature of the holy name. The effect of chanting the holy name of the Lord is perceived by the chanter as liberation from the conception of false egoism. False egoism is exhibited by thinking oneself to be the enjoyer of the world and thinking everything in the world to be meant for the enjoyment of one's soul only. The whole materialistic world is moving under such false egoism of I and mine, but the factual effect of chanting the holy name is to become free from such misconceptions. Now, Sanskrit is such a language that it can be divided in different ways. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has found the 9th offense to be inattention, pramadaha. And he says that if one is attentive while chanting, all the other offenses will be eradicated. And if one is inattentive while chanting, all the other offenses will flourish. So it's most important to be attentive while chanting, to pronounce each name carefully and distinctly, and to hear each name. And the mind will wander, but we have to bring it back and really try to hear every holy name. So now, we will call forth the new initiates to take their vows and receive their beads and their new names. We will proceed in alphabetical order. Alak Agarwal. Yes, offer obeisances first to Srila Prabhupada. What are the 4 regulated principles that you vow to follow every day for the rest of your life?
Maharaj, no gambling, no intoxication, no meat eating, including fish and eggs, and no illicit connections.
And how many rounds?
Minimum 16 rounds daily.
And is there anything else you would like to say on this auspicious occasion before this august assembly?
Guru Maharaj, I am really happy and full of emotions to have the feeling of belongingness and getting your shelter, and I'm really happy. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
All right. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I'm pleased to accept you as my duly initiated disciple, and henceforth your name shall be Acharya Nishta Das. Acharya Acharyanishta means one who has strong, steady, firm faith in the Acharya. Banwar Singh Rajput. So what are the 4 regulated principles that you vow to follow every day for the rest of your life?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
And how many rounds?
16 rounds minimum daily.
Good. Is there anything else you would like to say on this auspicious occasion?
Yeah. Respected Guru Maharaj, I will accept my yes, and I surrender myself to your lotus feet. And at the same time, I sincerely thank you very much for accepting me as your disciple. And I also sincerely thanks to Vishnupriya Mataji, Lilyapira Radha, my daughter, my Bhakti Vriksha, the all devotees, and the president of the Radha Kalachandji temple, who has motivated me and given all the helping hand that I needed.
Wonderful. Beautiful. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I'm pleased to accept you as my duly initiated disciple. And henceforth your name shall be Brajesh Das. Yeah. Brajesh, yeah. Brajesh is the name of Krishna, which means he's the Lord of Braj. Joy Saha. So what are the 4 regulated principles that you vow to follow every day for the rest of your life?
No intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, no illicit sex.
And how many rounds?
Minimum 16 round.
And is there anything else you would like to say?
I am so grateful. I'm so grateful to accept me as your servant. I really thanks to Lord Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, and my Shiksha Guru to bring me this wonderful path in my life. Hare Krishna Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Beautiful. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I'm pleased to accept you as my duly initiated disciple. And henceforth your name shall be Jai Gauranga Das. Lipi Saha. So what are the 4 regulative principles you vowed to follow every day for the rest of your life?
So no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. Sorry, never think about it.
It's so far from your
Sorry.
consciousness.
I just see you and I forget everything.
And how many rounds?
Minimum 16 qualitative rounds.
Good. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Yes, Gaur Maharaj. I would like to grateful to your lotus feet first, because you accept me as your servant of the servant. Then I would like to show my gratefulness to Srila Prabhupada, who make this such a beautiful spiritual world family. So we all can be so nice, one family members, brother and sisters. And then I would like to thank you to my Shiksha Guru, who give us guidance continuously to have you as our Guru and how to be qualified for that. And today is an auspicious day in my life. I think this is the day, only day I can remember in my whole life. I wasn't supposed to born, but I know now why I born. So parents tried to kill me many ways that because they wasn't expecting me. But Krishna made me, give me birth. So I have a wonderful life. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, accepting me. Please bless me and mercy to continue this life until death.
Yes, wonderful, beautiful. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I'm pleased to accept you as my duly initiated disciple, and henceforth your name shall be Induleka Dasi. Prem Kumar Rajput. Prem Kunwar Rajput. Thank you. What are the 4 regulative principles that you vow to follow every day for the rest of your life?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex.
And how many rounds?
Minimum 16 round, Guru Maharaj.
Is there anything else you would like to say?
आपने जो मुझे शिष्य बनाने के लिए मुझे चूज़ किया है, उसके लिए मैं आपकी बहुत बहुत आभार हूँ, धन्यवाद देती हूँ आपको. और साथ ही थैंक यू विष्णु प्रिया माता जी, माई डॉटर लीला प्रिया, माई हस्बैंड, और सभी डीओटी, भक्ति बख्शा डीओटी सभी को, और राधा कालाचंद जी टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट सभी को मैं बहुत बहुत आभार प्रकट करती हूँ, धन्यवाद. और गुरु महाराज, शीला प्रभुपाद, ISKCON सभी का मैं अच्छी तरह पालन कर सकूं, इसके लिए आप मुझे आशीर्वाद दीजिए और धन्यवाद.
Wonderful, beautiful.
Hey Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. What she said is she is very grateful to you for accepting her as your disciple, and she's very thankful to everybody's name that she's taken. She's very, very thankful and grateful to everyone, and she vowed to follow the principles of ISKCON and your instructions and teachings. And she just wants you to bless her so that she can follow those instructions. Haribol.
Wonderful. Beautiful. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I'm pleased to accept you as my duly initiated disciple, and henceforth your name shall be Palika Dasi. Palika is one of the important gopis of Vrindavan. Palika, P-A-L-I-K-A, yeah, one of the important gopis of Vrindavan. Rishi Bujawan. Thank you. So what are the four regulative principles that you vow to follow every day for the rest of your life?
The four regulative principles that I would follow for the rest of my life is no meat eating, including no eggs, no meat, no fish, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication.
And how many rounds?
Minimum 16 rounds daily of Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Is there anything else you would like to say?
Shri Maharaj, I don't have any qualifications, but it's your magnanimity and your greatness that you have accept me as your disciple. I will try to follow your instructions for the rest of my life so that I can serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada and also try to serve you to the best of my ability.
Wonderful. Beautiful. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I'm pleased to accept you as my duly initiated disciple, and henceforth your name shall be Radha Gopinath Das. Sham Saha. Thank you. What are the four regulative principles that you vow to follow every day for the rest of your life?
No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication.
And how many rounds?
Minimum 16 rounds.
Is there anything else you would like to say?
I'm really grateful that you accepted me as your disciple and that I can serve Srila Prabhupada, you, and Radha Kalachandji. And I'm really grateful to my family and this community and my friends for inspiring me in my devotional life and inspiring me to take this step. So thank you, everyone.
Hi. Wonderful, beautiful. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I'm pleased to accept you as my duly initiated disciple, and henceforth your name shall be Shamsundar Das. Tara Kubiak. So what are the 4 regulative principles that you vow to follow every day for the rest of your life?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and oh my God. Oh my God.
Hey,
No, I know them. I just, okay. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and gambling. Sorry.
Okay. And how many rounds?
16 rounds minimum.
Is there anything else you would like to say?
Yes, I'd like to thank my dear sister Balai from the LA Temple, who has been such a mentor and a good friend throughout all these years for me and has really encouraged me. So I wanted to thank her. And then I also wanted to thank my husband, Gopal Bhatta, who has been my guru for over 30 years and has been so supportive and has encouraged me for all these years. And I do thank him. And I especially want to thank you for accepting me as your disciple. Over 20 years ago, you gave Saraswati and I our first Tulsi plant. And from that day forward, I have never been without Tulsi, caring for her in my home. Sometimes I had 15 and sometimes I had 1, depending on how they were doing. But I can't imagine life without her. And also it's been my service at the temple, the LA Temple. So thank you so much for that. That has just been a blessing, and you've been a blessing. Hare Krishna.
Hi. Wonderful. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I'm pleased to accept you as my duly initiated disciple, and henceforth your name shall be Tulsi Devi Dasi. Yes? Tatiana Nikichina. What are the 4 regulative principles you vow to follow every day for the rest of your life?
I vow to never eat meat in my life. I vow no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication.
And how many rounds?
16 rounds minimum per day.
And is there anything else you would like to say?
Yes, I would like to say that I promise that I will do the best of my life to serve Krishna, you, Srila Prabhupada, and all Vaishnavas. And I'm very thankful for you accepting me as your disciple. Thank you.
Wonderful, beautiful. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, I'm pleased to accept you as my duly initiated disciple. And henceforth your name shall be Tarini Radhika Dasi. Tarini Radhika means Radhika who can deliver everyone. So this concludes the first initiations. So what do we do now? Where is Nityananda? Oh. Do we go for the fire yagya? So what do we do? We chant japa. Let's see how I'm doing on my rounds. So the next official item on the program is the fire yagya, but they need some time to get it ready. So in the meantime, we will chant japa. Suridas? Should we set up the stand for japa sangha or just?
I can get it, Maharaj. Yeah.
Okay. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta. Harinam, 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 be careful. Kalonasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva, here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.